Do you have damaged screens on your home? Having them repaired professionally can be very expensive, but it's not hard to do. I'm going to show you how. There are a couple of things that you're going to need tool-wise to make this work. You're going to need a spline wheel. You're going to need a knife of some kind. I also will use a straight razor blade, but this knife, if it's sharp enough, can generally do the trick. You're going to need some new splining, and you're going to need the screen wire. So one of the other things you probably want to know of that you can get are these little corners, because in a lot of instances, these corners have gotten brittle and they break, or you're going to break them whenever you're working with the screen. So the first thing that we want to do is talk about the anatomy of the screen. The splining is this black line that goes along here, and that's what holds the screen in place. So you're going to have to look in one of the corners until you find where it begins and ends. So you're going to take your knife here, and you're going to reach down in there, and it's a rubber-like spline, so it's going to be pretty flexible. Now, if it's brittle, then you're going to have to replace it. So you may or may not have to replace this, and it's about a 1/4 inch spline. So as you can tell, I've got it pulled out, and I'm just going to grab it with my finger, and I'm going to just continue to work this splining out of here all the way around the window. And this cord feels pretty pliable, so we could reuse this if need be. So we're going to set that off to the side, and like you can tell, it's just a rope-like rubber piece, about a little less than a 1/4 inch in diameter. So now your screen is available to come out. So I just find a corner and go to pushing on it. And then same thing, you're just going to gently pull the old screen out. So it's coming out nicely. Coming out. Okay, so there's the old screen. You just wad that up, toss it off the side. Now, this frame is in pretty good shape. All of the corners are holding. So in the next one we do, it has a broken frame. I'll show you how to fix that.
Hey everybody, I'm Jim Viebrock with Maintenance Minute, and I'm standing in the middle of a project house that we've been working on for a little while. One of the things about social media and YouTube and places like that is there's all kinds of people on there telling you that you can get rich owning real estate. And there's no doubt about it, owning real estate can be very, very profitable. But the realities of it is hot, dirty, nasty work. Next thing you know, you're undoing some nasty old toilet, or you're trying to clean up after you pulled the insulation down out of a house like we did on this one. Just remember, there is riches in real estate, but you're going to have to work for it, and it's hard, hot, dirty work. I'm Jim Viebrock. Please go to maintenanceminute.net for more information.
We'll start now with this one. Here's our screen, and I like to find how to use as little screen as possible. So I've got another small window to do, so I'm going to go this way with it. Put it in there, just line it up to where the screen will be pushed down in there. Take your splining again, and you're going to start with one corner. You're going to just push it down in there to start it. Take your little spline wheel, and you're going to push this down in there like you're cutting a pizza. So you just line it up and you force it back into the trough, just like this. Okay, don't worry about the part that's hanging out. And then you're going to turn a corner. Now the idea here is to get this as tight as possible. If you have 2 people, this works a little bit better. I don't have 2 people, so I'm going to go ahead and come around the corner with this. Same thing all the way around. We're just going to force that splining back into the trough. Again, I'm going to pull it as tight as I can. Just make sure that you got your splining down in there real good. Now, I use the same splining in this frame that I took out of this frame, and you'll notice right here, I have extra. That tells me that I actually got the splining down in there better than the original person who put that in there. take your razor blade and just cut the excess splining off. Just like that. Press it down in there. And you are done for that part of it. Now, this is what the sharp razor blade is. Use either tool. I prefer to use an actual razor blade. And you're going to go in here on the frame side of the screen. If you go on this side, obviously you're cutting the screen that you want. But a nice sharp blade, run it gently but firmly right along that splining. If you happen to pull the splining up just a little bit, just reset it with your wheel when you're done. And there you go, one repaired screen. This didn't cost hardly anything.
New homeowners, did you know you can do this?
Okay, so our project house is missing 2 screens completely, so we have to build them from scratch. So what we did is we went to our favorite big box retailer and bought a kit. It's going to come with 4 rails, 4 corners, and the spline. You're going to have to pick which type of screening you want to use to match the rest of the house. Get all of that while you're there. The first thing we have to do is measure the window. Once we have that measurement, don't forget you got to subtract the size of the corner from that measurement before you go. So let's go over and measure the window. Okay, so we're at our window. We're going to open it up all the way to the top. Take your tape measure and locate where the screen fits in the window. So we're going to take our horizontal measurement first, and that is 33 inches. And this one is a little harder, but here's how I like to do it. With the window fully up, we're going to stick the tape measure up into the top, and you can see right here that the measurement is 17 inches. Okay, back at our workspace, we need to do some calculating. So these corners, you have to subtract the size of this corner piece from your overall measurement. So in this case, the 17-inch piece, these corners are 3/4 of an inch each. So I need to take 1.5 inches off of 17, which makes 15.5 inches. So I cut this piece at 15.5 inches. So we got to do the same thing on the 33-inch side. So 33 minus the 1.5 inches is going to be 31.5. So we're going to take this and we're going to make a mark at 31.5, like that. We'll go over and cut those 2 pieces, and then we will assemble it. So let's go out in the shop and cut a piece. Earlier in the video, I told you that you're going to need a hacksaw of some kind. This is an old one that I've had for a while. I'm going to use it. So you want to support the piece firmly so that way as you're doing the strokes with the saw, that the piece doesn't move like this. But you need a metal cutting hacksaw blade, and you're going to put it on your line, and then you're just going to work down through the piece. Okay, it's a good idea to check your measurements before you do any assembly whatsoever. So what I did is I took my 31.5-inch piece that I cut. Your measurements are going to be different. Be sure and measure your own window. And I'm just going to add those little clips on there and hold it out here like this. And there it is. I'm just right at 33 inches like I need to be. So this piece is going to be fine. I'm going to go cut my other 31.5-inch piece. Once you have all 4 pieces cut, the assembly of the frame is very easy. You just simply put the corners in and assemble the frame. Then you're ready to follow the instructions at the beginning of this video for putting the screen in with the spline. And there you have it. That's all there is to fixing screens in your home. For more great home repair tips, please watch maintenanceminute.net. Thank you for watching. Are you interested in woodworking or home repair? If so, please look at maintenanceminute.net. Hi, I'm Jim Viebrock, and I'm the host of Maintenance Minute. From my website, you can watch videos on how to build a variety of arts and crafts projects, full-on woodworking builds, and home repair and remodeling tips, too. We recently added an archive section where you can see over 40 years of projects that I have built. Please take a moment and visit maintenanceminute.net.